What is going on, guys? It's Steeler here, back again with yet another video. Thanks for checking it out. You guys are awesome. Today we're talking about a couple new features coming to Xbox One, one of which I thought would be pretty much impossible, and this is pretty awesome because it does affect everybody on the platform. Now, before I go full detail on this subject, I want to say thanks for checking out RDX Podcast. If you did not, I will link it down below so you can do so. And of course, even more thanks to those that actually watched the freaking podcast before you commented. That's the kind of stuff we do like. Also, first Patreon game stream is coming up here soon. Come and game with us. Check out the Patreon down below in the description. And of course, I'm done digressing. Now, Mike Ybarra dropkicked us all in the face with some information on Twitter. Xbox One is getting the ability to record gameplay in full 1080p resolution, over double the pixel output of Xbox One's current game DVR capture. This is extremely interesting on a few different levels. Now, for one, capturing video like this on consoles does take resources, making this some kind of technical accomplishment. Keep in mind that this is the base hardware, Xbox One, Xbox One S, not the Xbox One X, which is receiving 4K 60 frames per second HEVC game capture. This is the base hardware, and of course, that's very interesting because keep in mind, the PS4 Pro captures the same output, 1080p 30 frames per second, while it can stream 1080p 60 frames per second. So once again, very noteworthy for the sheer accomplishment in getting this out of the hardware in the first place, doubling the output of pixels for game DVR capture. Very good for those that, of course, just want to capture their 360 no-scopes, or, of course, any kind of creator that wants to provide higher quality content for, of course, their viewers. Now, Mike Ybarra did clarify, saying that you can now use external hard drives to store these newer, higher resolution captures, and you can also record up to 1 hour of gameplay at a time at 1080p, provided you have that storage available. This is very interesting, brings it up to par on some of the higher end systems out there, and I think this is great news for pretty much everybody. Now for the second part of this video, another feature coming to Xbox One X, and of course Digital Foundry just did their own video about it, so of course I'm going to double down on it here. And of course we covered this on RDX weeks ago. It's kind of funny how that works, right? So we tend to get to some of this more hardcore insider news before Digital Foundry do. If you're an RDX fan, you tend to know that. So basically, Intelligent Delivery is a feature where developers can partition certain assets out to certain devices. When you turn your Xbox One X on, it will ping to the servers telling that game that, hey, I'm an Xbox One X, send me that good stuff. Alright, but if you're an Xbox One S, you may not need 4K assets and all of those things, or you may not have the additional lighting effects toggle turned on, things like that. It's going to decide what settings and assets you get on your console, and of course developers can take advantage of this to save space for several different types of gamer. Now, of course, another way that they talked about saving space is by sending you the language that you prefer and only that language. So Digital Foundry mentioned that if you play something like FIFA, most of that game download is covering multiple announcers in multiple languages. So you might only hear the English announcers talking about the game in real time, but of course on that disc, in that data you've downloaded, are the languages for all other regions with their own announcer recordings. It's a massive chunk of data that you may never need, and of course you may have the option to opt out of downloading other languages that you don't need, and this is one way they can save on space. Also, Xbox One X may not need lower resolution textures that are for Xbox One S, so they can opt out of downloading those instead of the 4K ones to save on space there. Really cool, and of course I think this will become the norm, if not now, in the next 5 years. You're going to have more options to save on space, and it's good news, bottom line. So, I'd like to know what you guys think down below. 1080p game capture, Intelligent Delivery, RDX Podcast. Check out the Patreon. I'll leave that link down below for my hardcore supporters. I'm Dealer. I appreciate that support. Hit that like button, and I'm out.